To Rich Cimini from ESPN, Jets beat reporter, covers the National Football League as well, and busy this morning, I'm sure. Rich, Roger Weiland in Albany, good morning.
Good morning. How you doing?
I'm good, Rich. I guess let's go ahead and start with a quarterback situation. How serious of an injury is it to Geno Smith? And regardless of how serious it is this team going to go back over to Ryan Fitzpatrick because of what he did yesterday coming in relief?
Yeah, as for the first one, I don't know. I mean, he's waiting to get an MRI today, and he said after the game he didn't think it was that serious. Players often say that they're not sure. He seemed to be moving around fairly well in the locker room after the game, but you just never know. I think obviously know with the MRI, if he can't practice, if he misses practice time this week, they'll probably have to start Fitzpatrick this year, obviously, so he needs as much practice as he can get. So they'd probably go with Fitzpatrick. If Geno gets a clean bill of health, I would suspect that they would continue him in the starting lineup. I don't think he did anything for the job yesterday. Were you surprised at how vocal Fitzpatrick was after the game? In terms of pretty much saying I should be the starting quarterback. Yeah, yes. The answer is yes, not because of it. Yeah, because he just came out and said, he just felt like, the team brass, the coach, the GM, the owner abandoned him, and they don't believe in him anymore. And so, yes, I was very taken aback by it. Ryan has always been a very team-oriented guy, always has been more a team leader and galvanizing the team. Those comments to me galvanized the team. They split the team. And I was really surprised. I mean, he obviously wanted to vent. He felt emboldened by the victory and just wanted to get up there at the podium and just wanted to say his piece. And, I thought it was all for. I think if Geno Smith had said something like that, I think he's been shredded up and down by people in the media. Fitzpatrick's a nice guy, so he doesn't get beat up as much in the media, but I thought those comments were out of line. Yeah, I mean, they surprised me. It just goes to show you how upset he was about the decision to go with Geno Smith. How he obviously, this went pretty deep into Ryan Fitzpatrick. Here's the one quote after the game. I don't know what decision they're going to make or what Geno's health is going to be like, but yeah, I think I should start every week. And he says, it's not easy, but I think my teammates believing in me is a big thing. He even went to that layer, Rich, that, he's got his teammates back on all of this. Yeah. Yeah, he said that after the Arizona game on Monday, too. But, here's the thing about Fitzpatrick. And, and I was very supportive. I thought they made the right move by re-signing him, by waiting out that, interminably long contract stalemate. I thought he was the right guy for this team. I really did. And even through the beginning stages of his slump this year, I thought he was still the right guy for the team. But when the guy throws, it's 11 interceptions in the first, and came in 2 or 3 games, it's hard to defend a guy like that. I mean, you want to say, keep him in there, but the team was 1-5, played lousy against Arizona, so I couldn't defend keeping Fitzpatrick in the lineup. To get benched. Geno Smith, to me, is not the answer either. But at some point, the coach has to make some sort of decision. So Ryan was obviously very hurt by that, losing his job, and kind of incredible. 6 games into a $12 million contract, they bench him. And so he obviously feels he deserves to keep going. My belief is that Todd Bowles can't, if Geno's healthy, he has to stay with Geno. I mean, he already got criticized for flip-flopping last week on the quarterback thing. If he goes back to Fitzpatrick now, then that really is a bad look for Todd Bowles.
Hey, Rich, Zach By joining Roger in studio this morning. With the New York Jets' schedule softening up a bit, do Jets fans have a reason to still be hopeful for this season?
Yeah, I think there's a little bit of hope. Obviously they're 2-5 for a reason. They haven't played good football. Their defense finally came alive yesterday, and the offense. You saw a different offense yesterday. They changed their personality. They became more of a running, physical team, which using Matt Forte. And so if they stick to that formula, defense and strong running game going ahead, they could probably get back in the this thing. Look at who they play the next three. They play Cleveland, who is 0-7. They play Miami's 3-4. They play LA 3-4. So I think they're all winnable games for the Jets. I'm sure those teams are looking at the Jets and saying the same thing. But they can possibly sneak back into this.
Well, at least yesterday you saw a defense that I think a lot of fans thought you would see, throughout the course of this season. They should be better defensively. And I opened up before we brought you on, Rich. I said almost every week so far we have criticized the secondary. This will be one week where we actually praise the secondary. Or was Flacco just bad yesterday?
Yeah, he was bad.
He was
no
bad.
doubt about it.
He was bad. There's no doubt.
Yeah, he was bad. I don't think it was an arm strength issue. He was dealing with a sore shoulder, but I don't think it was that. But you have to give some credit to the Jets. They played, they just their coverages more than usual yesterday. The Ravens do have some outside with Mike Wallace. They have a good running back in Terrence West. But, their offensive line, they were missing, 2 starters, including their best lineman, Marshall Yondas. So, they were beat up. They didn't have Steve Smith either at wide receiver. So they were playing a little shorthanded, but the Jets were playing a little shorthanded. They didn't have Mo Wilkerson and Darren Lee. And, so I give the Jets some credit. They after it. Sheldon Richardson had a really good game. And as you noted, the secondary finally made a couple of plays. And
I thought it was interesting. It always seems to be interesting what comes out of the mouth of Joe Namath, or in this case, a tweet. But Joe Namath, I guess, doesn't think the injury to Geno Smith, although he would know nothing really about it, the knee injury. He sends out a tweet. Rich has said, if you've got a right knee injury keeping you out of the game, why are you standing on the sideline the entire second half? How bad can it be? Namath tweeted during Sunday's game, and that made some headlines.
Every time Joe opens his mouth or says something on Twitter, it's news, and no one respects Joe Namath more than I do. And I think a lot of his opinions are usually on the money, but this one is kind of to support. I mean, he's probably down in Florida watching from his home, and right. So I don't know how he has any medical knowledge on that situation.
Yeah, I'm hearing you on that one. Hey, Rich, I appreciate a little impromptu here this morning on the show, reacting to what will be some controversy until Todd Bowles clears it up and says what's going to happen here with either Geno or Ryan. But thanks for a few minutes on Big Board Sports.
You're welcome. Take care.
All right, that's Rich Cimini, Jets reporter for ESPN.